Stop. That's it, yeah. Stop it there. Was this it? Was this the point? Was it at this very moment when Creative Assembly, intentionally or not, teased the return of Freefall to Total War? The speculation, even the hope, then began. But the doubt ultimately and understandably remained within the community. Surely we wouldn't see the return after all this time of this once most loved and coveted feature. Not since the freefall days of Rome and Medieval 2 Total War have players been able to put their tactical abilities to the test, experience the drama, hold their nerve, pick their opponent and strike at just the right opportunity in order to claim the victory in battle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to reveal that it shall be returning to Total War Warhammer 2. I never thought this day would come again, well, at least for a long time, but to my amazement it has. I literally cheered when it was revealed to us when I was at the studios last week. I mean, I know some of you may not be as impressed and perhaps thinking, well, what is all the fuss about? But for the multiplayer scene, this is terrific. It is fantastic news. Did you think that this was going to be announced? And of course, let me know down below in the comments. I mean, there has been for some time now a kind of outcry within the community for Freefall to return, and there must have been enough there for Creative Assembly to take notice and to bring it back. And I firmly believe that it would really take the multiplayer experience back to a new level and give it a much needed lease of life. And it would be awesome to see this being the start of other game modes for multiplayer, such as Capture the Flag or King of the Hill. But that is probably unlikely, at least for now anyway. Creative Assembly knows that Freefall works, so bringing it back won't be much of a risk to them at all. Other game modes are more likely to make an appearance in Total War Arena, for example, at this stage. Now, from what I remember when they revealed it to us, and I'm going from memory here, I didn't have any sort of way of recording any notes at the time, so forgive me if I'm getting anything wrong here. They are allowing up to 4 players to battle it out against each other like they did in the previous free-for-alls. Essentially 4 armies and 4 deployment zones, most likely on unique maps designed for free-for-all or variants of multiplayer maps to fit the free-for-all mode. Now, what I think is great is that I believe it will be compatible with Warhammer 1. So what I mean by that is all playable factions we have so far across both games will be available, not just Warhammer 2. So you could have a battle with Dwarves versus the Empire versus the Lizardmen versus the High Elves, for example. But what you must have is Warhammer 2 for free-for-all to work, if you know what I mean. You can't just own Warhammer 1, because if you do, free-for-all won't be available. So basically, Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 1 must be owned for free-for-all to work across all factions, or just Warhammer 2 if you want to play the 4 new factions on that game in free-for-all. So I hope that makes sense. I probably could have explained that a little bit better, but I'm sure you get the gist of it all. But it will be pretty sweet to have all the factions, all the races across the free-for-all mode. Will no doubt produce some fantastic, some great battles, I'm sure. Now, I believe it will work on a similar kills or / point scoring system as the previous free-for-all modes to determine the victor of the battles. And I'm sure more concrete facts will be confirmed by Creative Assembly now, but this is what I know at this point of recording the video. Now, I did joke on the Warcast saying how hard could it be to enable free-for-all again. Surely it's a case of just putting a command line in Notepad and switching it on. And though at the front end it will be fairly straightforward for them to do, and I'm sure they won't have any problems with that. What I didn't mention though is what is behind the scenes, under the bonnet as such, because they were mentioning that the big task, of course, for them is making sure this is all balanced. This, I imagine, would have been hard enough for just human versus human factions in Rome 1 and Medieval 2, but then having to balance monsters, beasts, flying mounts, tanks, etc., it gets a little harder. And then if that's not enough, magical damage as well, and how that will then affect the scoring system of the battle itself. So there's a lot to take into consideration. But then again, I'm sure Creative Assembly will clarify how this all works in a lot more detail by now or in the near future. But what I am certain is that it's going to make some great battles come to fruition, great YouTube videos on the channel, and who knows, some pretty interesting tournaments that could be created off the back of this. And I am for one extremely, if you haven't guessed, excited for its return. Why was I down at Creative Assembly Studios in the first place? Well, I'll be revealing that to you another time, in the not so distant future. Not too long to wait for that. But anyway, I shall be looking to cover a lot more news on the channel now about Warhammer 2 and its revelations that are announced as we edge closer to its release date, which I reckon will be revealed at E3 in June. That's just a guess with that one, but we'll see. I've just got a feeling about that. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. More importantly, I hope you're as happy as me for the return of Free For All to Total War. I can't believe I'm saying that again. But of course, let me know in the comments below. I want to, as always, hear your thoughts about it. And until the next one, take care and thanks for watching.